Hello and welcome once again for another EE324 video. We're going to be doing another Matlab block diagrams. So last time we just learned how to do some of the essential things with block diagrams, but we didn't discuss the problem of inputs. So recall in the previous video that we had this system where it was equal to 0. But now, suppose I want to make this system with an input of 3 times sine of 2t. So this might be my, my external force, my external force. Okay, and it's going to be a sinusoidal type of forcing and whatnot. And just as before, we can we can rewrite the equation, solve it for x double dot, which I do here, but now obviously we have f of t, and now we also have in the new block diagram, we have f as going into the summer that goes into x double dot. What we would like to do is show how to get this input with 3 times sine of 2t, but also some more other common inputs that we might see. So like e to the minus 0.1t times 10, a constant, a piecewise function, or something even a bit more complicated, say a square waveform with a particular frequency. Okay, so these might be all different kinds of inputs that we could have. So let's go see how to handle those inputs. Okay, so we're going to go back into our Simulink model that we had before. And what we're going to do here is we're going to find the inputs in the library that we wanted. So the first one was that 3 times sine of 2t. So we can go to the sources here and find a sine wave, actually. Down here in the sources. We can also find the other functions that we were interested in, like the e to the minus 0.1t or function or something like that. So here, in this case, this is just a standard math function, e to the something. So we need to actually have as an input t as well, which is why I'm going to use the clock. The clock helps me input time. Clock is, think of that as t. So obviously this exponential function is going to need to have t in it. And then we want to actually be able to set how large t is going to be, the multiplier times t is. So we wanted the 0.1 here. So by double clicking on that, I can change the gain as before. So now I'm putting as input, I'm running t through a 0.1 gain, which gives me 0.1 t, and then I need to change the summer. So I double clicked on the summer so that I could get a third input into the summer, right? So and in this case, we wanted a positive e to the minus 0.1 times t, or in this case, I think I have positive 0.1 times t. And then we also want to run it through a gain of 10 because we're multiplying e times 10, right? So we're going to multiply that by 10 using another gain and put it into the summer. Now we can run this. And we'll go back to our scope, and you can see that what we get is we get exponential growth as we expect. There's actually, it was harder to tell in that figure, but there's actually, I changed, and then I went back and changed the time here so that you could see it more clearly. There's actually some sinusoidal behavior going on that also happens to be growing because we had e to the positive 0.1t. So the input is actually growing exponentially in time. But you see both the sinusoidal behavior and the e to the 0.1t. So now let's go to the sources again and see what else we can put in here. So we wanted to do the constant, right? We wanted to do a constant, which we can do. There's a block called the constant, and basically this is just going to shift the solution upwards. So notice that the solution is shifted above the higher on the y-axis here now. It looks pretty much the same as our previous solution, but now it got shifted up by 5 units. Not too surprising. Now we're going to go back to our sources and find the step function. So the step function, you can set it to step at a certain time. I'm going to put the step time to be 7 so that we can actually see when there's no step function, and then we can clearly see when it jumps. And it goes from 0 to 5. So it's like that constant input now, except for that doesn't start at the very beginning. It starts after 7 seconds. So let's go look at the scope. And you can see after 7 seconds, you see this big jump, that 5-unit jump that we were seeing before. So that's a step function. And again, we can go in and find some other things like this square. We want the square waveform, for instance. And you can also do a sine wave out of these functions, right? You can see that. And here I'm going to do a square wave, so you have to define it, which is what I'm going to type here. And then you have to give it its inputs. So in this case, it has similar inputs to the sine function. So we're going to put in the amplitude of the square wave, and its frequency, and its phase. So basically a square wave looks just like a sinusoidal wave, except for it's flat on the top, across the top, so and across the bottom. So when it does those jumps, it's like pasting together a couple of those unit step functions. And we'll run it again. And you'll see some funky behavior after the square wave goes by in the solutions here. So that was how you get to these types of inputs, and there are obviously many more in the library that you could explore as needed, but these are going to be sort of the more common inputs that we'll see in the course. Hope that's helpful, and I hope to see you again soon.